and so that they can reconvene maybe in September or October, if that works. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. Okay. So this is Dr. Dominic Zerlo with the New Mexico Department of Health. For those who did not hear that earlier on, we are recording now at this point. What we just, Dr. French was announcing is that several of our board members have had emergent situations with patients and are not going to be able to join, so we won't be able to have quorum. We do have board members Stephanie Richmond, the chair, Tracy White, and Alan Plymall, who are on. So we have discussed that, and we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of an information to provide the information, but not do any voting as far as the board. Stephanie, would you like to go ahead and do your usual opening? And again, we just won't be calling to order it, just it'll be an informational and educational session.
That sounds great. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's flexibility with the technical issues this morning, and also certainly appreciate the importance of patient care. So thank you for those of you that are here this morning. This hearing of the New Mexico Department of Health Medical Cannabis Advisory Board will now come to order. I'd like to welcome you to the public hearing where the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board will review previous meeting minutes and receive updates from the medical cannabis program regarding the Secretary of Health decision on insomnia as a qualifying diagnosis. We will also be hearing about some regulation changes that have been proposed to be adopted, and any public comments in addition to scheduling our next 2023 meeting. Pursuant to notice, this matter is being heard the 16th day of May 2023 via web-based platform, and is being recorded. The time is 9:31, and I am Stephanie Richmond, the chairperson for the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board. The New Mexico Department of Health Assistant General Counsel Chris Woodward may be present to advise the department during these proceedings. This proceeding is being held in accordance with the Lynn and Aaron Compassionate Use Act, excuse me, sections 26-2B-1 through 26-2B-7 NMSA 1978 and regulations at NMAC Title 7, Chapter 34, Part 2. If members of the audience have not already registered for this event, please register online so that your attendance may be noted and included with the advisory board submissions to the Secretary of Health. At this time, I understand that myself, Alan Plymall, and Tracy White are board members that are present today. If the board could alert me if any others are able to call in or join, that would be excellent. Because we don't have quorum, we can move the previous minutes for approval to our next meeting. So at this time, I would like to invite the Medical Cannabis Program to update us regarding their activity and progress.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. This is, again, Dr. Dominic Zerlo, and as usual, please just call me Dominic. And the biggest thing that I really wanted to go ahead and bring up is the decision with regard to insomnia. In the last meeting, the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board had actually recommended that insomnia be added as a condition to the list of qualifying conditions for the medical cannabis program. That included, there was a lot of information presented as far as medical and scientific information. And so we definitely appreciate the petitioners and the board and the work that was done with regard to that. I am very pleased to be able to announce that the Secretary has also agreed with that information and is adopting the recommendation of the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board to add insomnia to the list of qualified medical conditions. And that will be effective June 1st, 2023. And the full letter for that, the full decision, will be posted up to our website later today. So please go ahead and look out for that. Does anybody have any questions with regard to that as far as board members?
No questions. That's excellent news. Thank you for that update.
Great, thank you. And very glad to be able to provide that, Stephanie. And I will say that with our new secretary, Patrick Allen, he was very interested in hearing about it and very interested in knowing that when we did the survey last year of patients, that this was the second most often cited reason for individuals using cannabis that was not currently a qualified condition. The first, of course, was anxiety disorder, which was added previously a few months ago.
Just a comment, real quick comment, Dominic. I'm very pleased to see that that was approved and look forward to putting people on for that reason. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. And yes, we were very happy to hear that that moved through and that the recommendation was something that was signed. So we're very happy to be able to add that into the program. So we think it'll be very beneficial for patients. So thank you, Alan. Okay. The next item that we actually have from the program is really with regard to the rules due to, of course, the change in the statute that did occur this year, which was Senate Bill 242. Wait, did I quote that correctly, Andrea? It's been a couple of months now since legislative session, so sometimes I get the bills mixed up. Okay, 242. Yep. Thank you. Yep. So with the passage of that and the signing of that by the governor, the registration identification card expiration date has now changed. Along with that is the removal of the annual verification. The result of this is that it will be easier for patients. Rather than needing to complete the paperwork every year, they will only need to do that every 2 years. Because with the previous statute, it in effect, even though patients' cards did not expire for 3 years, in effect, patients had to go through the entire registration process every year. So this removes that. It makes it every 2 years. The program, of course, still recommends that patients see their primary providers, and not just once a year, but more often, as, of course, is appropriate regarding their conditions. The other major change with the rules is that it reorders the list of department-approved conditions to include anxiety and insomnia into that list. And then the other major change is just to remove the annual written certification requirement. And so that will be removed out of the rules. These rules will also be posted up to our program website for the public to be able to review and to see. It really is just a cleaning up of those regulations. There was one other minor review with it, which actually involved telemedicine to ensure that it was clarified in the rule, just stating that the practitioner may issue a written certification on the basis of an evaluation conducted in person or via telemedicine. And so that's the one other change in the rule that we have, other than the cleanup of the language to switch from 2 years or 3 years to 2 years, and to remove that annual certification. And again, that will be posted up to our website so that the public can review it. We have not yet scheduled the public hearing for the rules specifically, and we will do that. And part of that is due to the proximity of the end of the fiscal year, quite honestly. And so we will do that after the start of the new fiscal year. And since we don't have a quorum here, we will bring this to the next meeting. So that meeting, the rules hearing will not happen until this board is able to consider and vote on the rule changes. Any questions?
Yes, just to refresh, people who are in the 3-year card program do need to finish that out, and then the next full renewal goes to the 2-year, correct?
Correct. So the patients who currently have the 3-year card, well, basically their expiration date does not change. So for those patients, they will continue to have it, and it's once their card expires or 30 days prior to the card expiring, they will need to resubmit their applications for their next card. So we're not cutting off anybody's card early. It's simply when they expire, their next card that's issued will be for a 3-year or for a 2-year period.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Are there other questions?
Just an update. I think Courtney Marquez was able to join.
Great. Okay, well,
Excellent.
Stephanie, I will turn it back to you.
Thank you very much, Dominic. I really appreciate those updates. Wonderful news about the inclusion of insomnia, and I look forward to the streamlining that this will have for the registration identification card. So thank you very much. There were no petitions from the public to be submitted for a review since our last meeting, and the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board is happy to review any petitions at the upcoming meeting. So information on how to do this is posted on the Department of Health Cannabis Program website. So we look forward to any of the petitions from the public. At this point, I would like to proceed with some public comment. So individuals who have pre-registered for the meeting and have requested to make a public comment will be able to comment first and should limit speaking time to 3 minutes. If you have not previously requested to make a public comment, please click on the raised hand icon on the computer or dial *5 if you're calling in by phone. I ask for assistance from the Medical Cannabis Department with calling on speakers and for monitoring the time. For those of you who are unable to make a public comment during the meeting, the public comment period will be open for 48 hours after the meeting. So please send all public comments to the following web address: medical.cannabis@state.nm.us. Thank you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, we will begin the public comment period. I did not see any pre-registrations due to the technical difficulties. So if you have a comment you would like to make, please speak up and I will start the timer. Please also introduce yourself as well.
Hello, good morning. My name is Candice Abasta, and I work with Rocky Mountain Youth Court Prevention Program. I just wanted, and I'll look on your website to see what recommendations are on there as well, but I was looking to see if you all would like to assist with the ground survey education to customers of the dispensaries. If there's any helpful education pieces, I would really appreciate that, and especially coming from the Department of Health, that has even more stature to it, and so I really appreciate that. And yeah, if there's anybody that would like to join our House Alive program as well, that's our substance abuse program. A lot of underage kids are getting medical cards. It's kind of skyrocketing in our area, so it's kind of alarming. And granted, with the diagnosis, that's understandable with some of the diagnoses that are on there. However, it's kind of an issue and kind of an epidemic in our area. So I'd like any input on that as well, if at all possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Any other comments?
Hi, this is Michelle Roque. I was wondering, how often do these meetings happen? Do they happen monthly?
These meetings happen twice a year. We've had one already, and since we did not achieve quorum at at this meeting. We will have another meeting later in this year. You can look for updates on our meeting times. We have a tab on the left-hand side of our website for the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board. So you can check out when the next meeting time is then.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we're going to close the public comment period. If you have any other comments you'd like to make, or if you have any information you'd like from us, please reach out through our general email, and that is medical.cannabis@doh.nm.gov. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate
it. And Stephanie, we do still need to set the next meeting.
Schedule the next meeting. Yeah, I heard on the phone that are Tracy and Courtney, did they exit the meeting?
It sounds as though they did, unfortunately,
Okay.
but we can make sure that we get the information to them.
All right, so Alan is the other board. Alan and I are the board members that are currently on the phone.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Hi, Alan. Thank you for participating in today's meeting. I would like to be able to get everybody together in September or October in order to be able to vote on some of these regulation changes. Typically, it seems like Tuesdays work well for this group. Do you have a preference for any days? Like, would October 10 or 17 work for you?
For me, either of those days are fine.
Okay. But in order to be able to give ample time for other board members in scheduling, let's see about scheduling the next meeting for the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board on October 17 at 9 o'clock. Excellent. Thank you all very much for participating today. I understand that technical difficulties can make it difficult, but I appreciate the participation. The meeting is now adjourned. It's approximately 9:47.
Just a quickie, that was October 17th at 9 a.m.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
And as always, Stephanie, thank you, and Alan and everyone else who has joined. We do really appreciate it. We are sorry for the technical difficulties. We're not sure what happened. We've been utilizing the system, obviously, for the last few years, so we're not sure what occurred and why this has happened. We're going to look into it with our IT department, and of course, any of the items that would have needed voting will come up in the next meeting. Thank you all. We do appreciate it. Again, sorry for the technical issues. They obviously were very unexpected.
Real good. We will see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.